Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, baby mums and baby dads, insurance companies all over the world. We need to talk to you guys, yeah? Because there's something.
You're robbing the living.
There's some things that you guys are doing wrong that we need to talk to you about, yeah? So if you work for insurance, yeah, I need you to message me. I need some information. But we are back. Welcome back to Take It to the Room podcast with myself, Rods, aka Plantain Chips. AKA, I'm here to call out what can't be called out, but it's going to get called out with a phone call.
Okay. Huh? I said, okay. Yeah. Whatever you say.
I don't even know what I said myself. And today, the full team is back. Certain man have decided to join us after taking the hiatus to the motherland.
Gallivanting
In the sun.
Back in a willy hat. Didn't bring no sun.
Man said from straw hats to woolly hats.
Mad.
We got LA Ghana Jills in the building.
Yeah, I'm back, man. I don't know, I ain't got a ton, have I? Nothing.
Nah, bro, you are
No,
hard.
let's relax. I thought I got to you want reassurance.
I was there, guys.
We're not doing that.
And we got Clipper Cam in the building.
Hello. Hello.
He's just happy that hey,
I know, you're happier this week.
Yeah, there's no patience to pick up. The house is not on fire, but there's a bit of, you know, there's a bit of rubble.
No, bro.
There's a bit of rubble.
There's some smoke. I can smell smoke. I can smell smoke.
Yeah.
I can smell smoke.
So, where I want to start the pod today is recently there's been a situation.
Ooh. Which situation?
And, well, how can I say? This guy, this male, has intertwined himself in some activities which, to the land of the law, into the eye of the public.
I think it's the law of the land.
Did I say land of the law?
Yeah,
I didn't say law of the land. You think as well, I said it in my head beforehand to make sure I got it right, but I still got it wrong. But, you know what I mean, he fell forward. So, Josh Giddey of the OKC Thunder has got himself into a sticky situation. We aren't reporters, so we're not going to deep dive into certain things. Like, if you know, you know. If you don't know, go and research. However, what we do want to talk about is how this situation is being handled and the response to the NBA compared to Ja Morant's situation and to Miles Bridges' situation. Now, in no means are we saying they're on the same level. Yes, they are different in different ways. However, the response time is what is up for question. So, what are you guys... So first of all, when did the NBA... Because it was after 12 hours. Because with Ja Morant, I'm sure within the first 12 hours, there was a statement and things already in the works. Miles Bridges, I'm sure within the first 12 hours as well, statements, things in the works. Everything was basically done within the first 12 hours.
The main difference I've noticed is that both Miles Bridges and Ja Morant, the situation happened in off-season, right? Or in times where, allegedly anyway, Ja's done it twice now, and I think the first time when the video came out, it was during the season, but and that's why he got emotional, because they were saying it was in Denver, right? Like on an away game. Yeah. The second time it happened, the season was done with, but Ja Wick was being Ja Wick, innit? And you know that situation happened, and Adam Silver was quick to get to it, and I think that was probably handled a little bit differently because it wasn't the first time for the exact same instance with him. And I feel like the first time, I think maybe they were trying to be a little bit lenient, and the second time they were like, no, he's taking a piss. Like we've literally just finished talking about this, and you're back on your bullshit. Yeah. So I think maybe that's why it got dealt with a little bit differently. With the Miles Bridges situation, I think because of the nature of it, that he has like a criminal case, whereas what Ja did had like it wasn't illegal or anything like that. It's just frowned upon by the league. So I feel like the NBA had to speak out on it to one, inform the rest of the world and the rest of the league that they don't condone his actions, but also to some extent, I think they're just. I think they had to be quick with it because I think if you wait too long, you know, your name starts to get tarnished a little bit. Oh, is this a league that condones these kind of activities?
However, I would say though that bear in mind this season, Adam Silver came on NBA on TNT. Charles Barkley put him in the hot spot. Adam Silver's response was very shaky. I think it was one of the ones where it's like it wasn't a prepared answer. It was like, okay, I can wing this. However, he was
it when Charles asked him about why all these guys like basically doing domestic violence?
About what we're going to do about the domestic violence situations and all these things. So, and my thing is that yes, they responded and done what they do. That, but on top of that, I'm sure Miles Bridges he gave himself in as well.
I think he had to. Yeah.
However, okay, that situation happened, and other situations have happened as well. Yet, when you've been asked about what can be done, obviously you switch it up. We're not like, okay, being the forefront is across the sports worldwide.
100%.
But there was no hint of a plan, no kind of like foundation that okay, we can directly deal with this. All it is just okay, all right, contract, you won't get paid, you come to your senses. That's what it seems.
He was media firefighting at the situation. He was just trying to diffuse it and kind of deter from, which, like, to some extent, some people say, yeah, like that's what the CEO of a company is supposed to do. Like, get his company out of like the firing line of bad reviews. I feel like with the Giddey situation, though, it's interesting because one, I feel like OKC should never have let him do an interview. Like the next day, you're telling me my man's in front of reporters. There's no ambiguity about it. You know exactly what they're going to ask you. They know exactly what the nature of the questions are going to be. So I don't think that was a shot. I think that's a poor shot from OKC anyway.
Yeah.
But like, if we're being honest, innit, he's essentially been accused of a crime.
Yes.
So by NBA nature, I'm not saying he needs to be suspended, but he definitely should not be doing face-to-face interviews or in the limelight or anything until that situation is completely handled and dealt with. Whether that be him going to prison, whether that be him being acquitted or whatever. But I just think in times like this, and not only that, bro, he was playing.
Yeah, like that was what I was
he played.
Should he have played?
No, 100% not. But I think also by them playing him, it's almost normalised it a little bit. I'm not saying normalised what he was accused of, but in terms of if they sat him, if he didn't play, would he not look more guilty?
Yes.
Because then they'll be like, there's definitely something going on here.
Yeah,
otherwise, he's not injured. Everyone knows he's not injured. So if he's not playing, there has to be a reason for it, and it can't just be because they're waiting to iron things out. So this is why it's a bit of a confusing situation.
One of his teammates did was a cryptic tweet or something. Jalen Williams.
What is it?
Oh, I can't remember exactly.
I've seen so much madness on the internet since this thing came out. Like LeBron posted like a few
good evil thing. That was fake.
No, a good evil. What do you mean good evil?
There was something that I think that was something. Maybe that's not the same thing.
And it could be. I need to fact check, to be honest. But I saw that he posted like a post and the background song was AJ Nothing But Number. I'm almost certain that's not real. Giddey was the cover photo.
Yeah, no, and the IG was just LeBron. It was fake because you know LeBron's IG is King James.
That's why I've heard people making jokes. I've heard Josh Giddey. Like, why are you trying to hide? Like, you're on camera, bro. People can see what you're doing. Like,
he's trying to hide underneath his laptop.
Bro, it's crazy. It's crazy. What's and I think the worst thing is for me, and this is the most selfish thing. I was on this podcast, maybe the last episode, saying how I thought he was better than Jalen Williams. Since then, without this situation happening, I've realised he's not. Like, Jalen Williams is very good anyway.
When I was saying this, because when I was saying this, I'm
trying to admit you're right. I'm trying to admit you're right. And you're interrupting me, please. Okay, I'm admitting that I was very, very wrong in that situation. Not because I don't think Josh Giddey has a game, but Jalen Williams is just, like, from what I've seen from him so far this season, and I really thought it was a fluke at first, but no, that guy's got game, man. And he's almost like I feel like watching him, he looks like he's been working out with shape, like in terms of the game. So I apologize, Randy, because you were right and I was wrong, and I'm man enough to admit that I was wrong.
Happy Rodney?
Yeah,
this guy was about to start yelling when I said this. When I said that,
I'm just saying that I don't speak for free. When I speak the truth.
Listen. I gave you your flowers. Don't take the piss because it might be the last time.
What? Your flowers? What, you need like a soil, like a water. You know what I mean? I'm just watering the flowers.
I think to chime in on the situation, I think it's a unique one because
probably isn't as well, to be honest.
I mean, it is and it isn't. Yeah,
That
it is that it's come to fruition. and
That big mad guy in Utah was doing this for years. Man. Sorry, Graham.
Ridiculous.
And I think when you're looking at the way it's been handled, it's very, it's a strange way it's been handled because you're looking at it like he's playing, like even him answering, and like
media questions.
It was just so silly, and it's him having to say, "I have nothing to say about it. I know what you're gonna ask." It's just wow. OKC didn't help, but I think it's a catch-22. We see it. We've seen it in football, soccer, as you Americans will call it. With possibly the Mason Greenwood incident. Obviously, I know the severity of what that was is obviously a lot different to the severity of this, but we're talking about crime on crime, innit? And the way it was handled in terms of, like the suspension or like the way Manchester United didn't let Greenwood play at all, and they just kind of just cancelled him away. And
got him out of the like. There was no camera. No one knew what he was really doing.
Like there was nothing, no limelight, no cameras. Like he was basically not stripped, but he wasn't allowed back part of the team. He wasn't allowed to the training ground, and it was until the investigation was concluded and what was done was done. So I feel it's a bit strange to have a crime investigation essentially taking place, and he's playing. I feel it's a bit strange, like you said, it's just normalising it. And I feel like if this is a crime, I know it's innocent until proven guilty, but if there's an NBA investigation, there needs to be an NBA investigation taking place. The player's sitting out, investigation takes place, then comes back. Because you can't be giving someone who's under investigation the same leeway as someone that isn't, which every other player in the league isn't under investigation, do you know what I mean? So why are they in the same way, like Giddey's allowed to play normally, impact his team, other players that are not under investigation allowed to. So you said the word normalising it, and I think that's the correct word. That's where the NBA's falling short in this situation. I think if you're under investigation for a crime, you should be part of the team, innit? And when you discuss about the Miles Bridges and obviously Jar situations, again, these are all different situations in what they are, but the way the NBA reacted and the way they took that investigation, so-and-so quote, was these players weren't playing. They weren't in the team. They were literally out of the limelight. Until this investigation is done, is you're allowed to come back. And I think that's where they've slipped up on this one. There's questions why. I don't really understand why, but I think there needs to be better protocol. Because once there's an investigation, I think that should be that in it. You shouldn't really be allowed to play if it's something that's deemed a crime or the severity for an investigation to take place.
I think this just further to this, and I think hopefully to close it as well. Like there needs to be two things going on in the NBA moving forward. One, they need to make these guys extremely aware of what they're exposing themselves to, and not even just that. Like everything nowadays is on social media. Everything nowadays is on camera. In two of these instances now, where with John Morant and now with Josh Giddey, all this stuff has come to light because they're snitching on themselves. You know, at the end of the day, I think the NBA needs to train these people to just stop putting everything on camera that you're doing. And I'm not trying to justify what he's doing, because if what he did is true and what he did was illegal, whatever, prosecute the man, send him to prison. I don't mind. That's fine with me. Because if what he did was wrong, it was wrong. But at the end of the day, the greater problem here is that all these guys are putting themselves in these situations because they're on camera. A completely different situation, not even illegal. Kai Jones, I promise you, Kai Jones would still be on the Charlotte Hornets today if he wasn't making all those mad videos of him dancing in his room, all the stuff on his walls. Like, he didn't look well.
It wasn't even just like the dancing.
Talking shit about his teammates on Twitter as well.
It just wasn't even like the dancing stuff, because if it was just, he just posted that dancing stuff, you're thinking, okay, he's just on TikTok doing stupid stuff.
He was really mad.
No, but it's all stemmed from the IG Live.
Yeah.
So if the IG Live never happened and he just put videos dancing, you wouldn't say much. You would just be like,
100%.
okay, he's
100%.
So
listen, even Paul Pierce has fallen victim to this before. He got fired from ESPN. You remember? He went on IG Live. He was smoking. I think he was smoking weed in his crib. He had like women and stuff like that around him.
He was moving.
Yeah, he was moving nuts. It was moving nuts. Enjoy your retirement, bro. But at the same time, like, I just feel like you need to put these cameras on. Another thing that NBA needs to do is just like if we're being honest, like they need to be coaching these guys about life because they're all fucking up. And the reality situation is, from when, and I'm surprised it wasn't. It probably was worse before. It just wasn't documented as much. But now, considering now that everyone has to be at least 1 year removed from high school, yeah, whether you're international or from the US, it doesn't really matter. Realistically, the youngest people coming into the league are what, 18, 19 years old. They're kids, man. They don't know nothing about life. So now you're telling me you're giving them millions of dollars and telling them to act responsibly. It's not happening. Like I almost feel like every team should actually employ a handler.
Yeah.
To keep these kids in check, because that's really who's messing up. He's ruining their futures. Someone who's
I'll do that.
bro, for real. But I really feel like it needs to be an old school disciplinarian, bro.
Yeah, because honestly, like you have to picture as well. Some people are really going at these young guys.
100%.
Yeah? And it's like, fam, if you are 18, let's say between the age of 18
Don't
to
give
20,
me that money. No
18
way.
to 23 years old.
No idea,
Today, don't give me that money.
18 to 20 to 23 years old, and you are earning millions. Do you think you're gonna act a fool? You're gonna feel unstoppable. You're gonna feel like I can do
Invincible,
what I
literally.
want.
Yeah.
Literally, it's like you're doing what you love to do, and you have a lot, and you're getting paid very well for it.
And at the highest level,
you have a lot of time. Yeah, all the things that you was dreaming what you want to do, now you're gonna go and do it. You almost think that you're above the law because, hey, you know who I am, so technically you should give me a slap on the wrist, or you know what I mean. So
even these young boys flying out these IG models,
yo,
doing all, like there's no home training, man. Like it is getting out of hand.
But just to kind of finalising that round, like what you said is very true. I was just looking at the 2021 draft. Josh Giddey was number 6.
Yeah.
Just in that 30, there's 4 players I've already seen that have been involved in some sort of nonsense. If it's the police, so I'm gonna name them. Obviously, Josh Giddey now.
Yeah.
Josh Reprimo.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
There's James Booknight.
Of course. Full in the suit with a gun.
And now Kai Jones.
And Doritos.
Kai Jones.
Yeah.
So that's just in the top 30.
That's
and that's in the NBA draft 2021. We're now in 2023.
That's only what 2-3 seasons.
This is crazy. It's a 4 out of the 30. And these are players. Josh Reprimo's not even in the league because of what happened.
No, he is.
Oh, he's back in. He's back in.
He's with us.
Yeah, G League, isn't it?
He's the G League. What? Says it all. But we're seeing a trend, and the problem is that the NBA is not taking accountability for the way that these players are coming into the league.
I agree.
Like 4 players in 2021. We could talk about Jar's draft where you've seen him. You got Zion. It's a consistent theme with the young players. Like I don't know if there is that level of protection so that you're going to be paid. You're going to be a target. These people are out here not to take your money, but you need to be careful with it. You need to understand what comes with this money.
Facts.
Responsibility. I don't know if these players are ready, and when they're making their mishaps, making these decisions that at the moment might make sense, but they're not thinking about the repercussions that you're actually a representative of the league. Like this is the National Basketball Association. Like you got guys like Jordan, LeBron, like some of the top greatest superstars have really put it on their pedestal to build it. You now represent that because you're part of it.
Mike was part of the problem too. Don't skate it. Mike was part of the problem too.
Yeah, it's true. But at the same time, like the league is at a pedestal and it's well recognised and it's worldwide for a reason.
Really?
Really? You're doing the things like that. You're being a detriment to the league. Hence why there is an investigation upon you. But I don't know if these guys are actually well drilled into understanding that this is the fact of it. Like this is real life. They're making these decisions. This is 4 players from the draft 2 years ago. It's terrible. So I think the NBA needs to look and also hold accountability in terms of the way these players are coming into the league. And then the players themselves need to be smarter, need to have better people around you. We spoke about it with Jar's team and having better people around you if it's in your camp. Same here. You've got to have better people around you.
Yeah, so just to close on that, we'll obviously see what the NBA comes with the investigation, what happens, but it is true that these young boys need guidance.
I do want to say we're not haters, by the way. Like I'm not hating because I know full well if I was 18, 19 years old with hella money, I'd probably go broke in a week. You know, stuff like just doing nonsense as well. Not illegal stuff, just nonsense. But at the same time, we have to be honest about the situation there because the worse it gets, the worse it's gonna be, and we don't want that. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, exactly. We don't. So, yeah, they just need some guidance, and literally that's about it.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe so. Talking about troubles, trials, and tribulations, there's a team also going through their own trials, tribulations, and troubles. Golden State Warriors. Now, Steph Curry is fighting for his life on that. As in, he is really fighting for his life. And just to give you guys a brief about them, so yes, Steph is performing and fighting for his life. Chris Paul.
Whoa!
That's unfair.
Chris Paul is beefing Scott Foster.
That was quite mad, though.
It was quite mad.
We need to touch on that.
That was actually nuts.
It was quite mad. And Draymond as well, putting people in headlocks.
Yeah.
That's wild as well.
Klay is playing with his arse out, pause.
Class Thompson.
Literally,
Wow.
Masterclass Thompson. That's what he's doing.
Yo, what's wrong with you guys today?
No, he's been bad.
In a contract year as well.
He's
It's moving.
Let's start one.
Okay.
Let's talk about Chris Paul and Scott Foster first.
Yes,
because
explain the situation.
So obviously the game was going on, and Scott Foster and Chris Paul, there's a history there where I believe Chris Paul is 3-15 or 3-17. I can't remember the number.
Really
3 and something ridiculous
Wins.
in games that Scott Foster has officiated, which is insane to think about, considering Chris Paul's been in the league for nearly 20 years.
Yeah.
So there's already a history there. They know they don't like each other. Chris Paul got a technical foul. Scott Foster was the one who issued the technical foul. Then Chris Paul was talking shit, saying that's bullshit. Got teed up again because Scott Foster was saying enough, stop, enough. Gave him another technical. So at that point, already Chris Paul's now been thrown out of the game.
Yeah.
Then Chris started. I'm not gonna say Chris charged him. Chris, was trying to go over to him. People had to move him out of the way. But on a very, very basic level, I just feel like, and Stephen A. Smith said this as well, I saw a few other people say this, it doesn't make sense here why the NBA keeps putting him on Chris Paul's games.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. There's 30 teams in the league. So many other places he could have gone that night and officiated an NBA game. We're not saying fire them, man. I'm just saying these two clearly have a problem.
It's personal.
100%.
And he had that meeting ages ago. He had that meeting with Doc Rivers and he involved his son and everything. Like, it's crazy.
Oh, they're not cool in it. And I just feel like it doesn't make sense why you continue to because the way Chris Paul makes it sound is like he's playing against the other team and the official.
Yeah. And
you're never gonna win when a referee ain't messing with you. But not only that, I think if we're being honest about this situation, it doesn't really. I think it's sad personally. Yeah, I think in no other walk of life at your job, can you be seen to almost be corrupt to a level and still keep it. And I'm not saying fire him because apparently he's got tenure and whatnot. Apparently he's a good referee. But how can you be a good referee when you're being biased like this, bro? You might I don't see how what he's doing with Chris Paul is any different from the referee who's taking bribes to win and lose certain games. To me, it don't make any difference because if he has a clear issue with Chris Paul, he's always going to officiate against him, whether he knows it or not. I think even to some point it's on a deeper level now where he's not even thinking about it. But if he sees him do something, he's not going to give him the call if he needs the call, or he's going to give him a foul when it maybe necessarily wasn't a foul. Everyone knows Chris Paul's like a dirty player or whatever anyway. So I can't say that Chris Paul's 100% innocent all the time. However, bro, come on. If we were talking about, I don't know, a different point guard that wasn't as good as he was, hasn't been as good at teams as him, that number may not be a big deal. But to easily say that every time this man officiates you, there's like an 80% chance you're going to lose the game. That's crazy.
Insane.
That is crazy.
But yeah, like I say, the NBA needs to stop.
Just stop putting them on the games. I'm not saying fire them, man.
I just think that when you're looking at the situation with Scott Foster and CP3, like we all know in sports, refs have to remain impartial. That's the number one thing. Everyone knows if you watch different sports, like for example in England, in football, if the ref has a history of previously supporting Man United or something prior to being a referee,
you can't do United games.
You can't do United, you can't do Liverpool, you can't do City because guess what? He might
100%
impartially
even some Arsenal games he's not allowed
to. So that's what I mean, and it's just that level of even something as simple as a referee was the ex-Chelsea, whatever else it might be. But then I feel Scott Foster and CP3, there's clearly a level of impartiality that exists. Like, within referee, now I watched that game, I saw him get tossed out live, and I was looking at it like...
Pause,
indeed. Indeed.
I came in from Ghana, I was like, no, fuck it, I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go, but damn, that was too much.
Sorry.
But yeah, when you're looking at the way that was handled, like there was two sides to it. I think Chris Paul, obviously being a veteran, being experienced, probably should have shut his mouth. At the same time, we've been saying all season, these refs in the league have a massive knack of making everything about themselves. 2 techs in the space of 15 seconds to get someone ejected is wild. We saw it the other day with Jokic. It's happening too much this season, and Scott Foster adds to it. And obviously the previous feud and whatever goes on with Chris Paul. It was funny, the commentator was actually just talking about it just before it happened. And then, yeah, it's just a repeated part of it. I just feel like that the NBA needs to step up, do more. And yeah, it's becoming embarrassing because guess what? If Chris Foster refs another CP3 game, it's going to be the same thing. It's just getting out of hand now.
I just checked. He's 3-17 against him now.
Yeah. And at that moment, I'm not saying that they would have beaten. There was the Suns, weren't it? The Suns, but you've tossed out a starting player for them in a game that was about a 8 point swing or something at the time. You've basically impacted that game. And the team at Golden State, that we're going to talk about their struggles already, but he's a starting point guard or shooting guard, wherever him and Steph play. He's starting player for them on their team. You've tossed out. Now, has that affected the game, the result? It's arguable that probably Phoenix would have won anyway if he was there, but you've still impacted the result. You didn't even give Golden State the chance to win because of that.
100%. Not only that, and I think this is all refs now as well. I remember, I think it was either last year or the year before, we were saying refs are getting too into games to where they think they're the main characters in it. And I feel like it's getting worse and worse. I remember one year where, did LeBron get ejected last year or the year before? Someone who'd never been ejected before got ejected from a game. And we're like, nah, it was LeBron. Yeah, it was LeBron. And I was like, what the hell is going on? I've seen Steph Curry, outside of him throwing his Invisalign gum shit, whatever it is, I don't really feel like he's ever really warranted it as well. But I think it's getting to a point now where, and I think all referees have an ego, innit? I think that's slightly why they do it.
Yeah.
All of them like to humble people and all that stuff. I think a lot of it is down to ego. But it's it's too much now, man.
It's abusing power, man. Like
100%.
Because now it's like if someone talks to you crazy, what?
No, but that's literally how it is, and I understand there has to be a level of respect. Like you can't like an NBA player can't come up to you and call you a bitch ass nigger, for instance, something like that. That's wild. Yeah. However, like at the same time, adults can have a conversation without disrespecting each other.
Yeah, if you say like, oh, okay, what did I do? Explain to me so I know what exactly.
Yeah, that's a different conversation.
I think
that's what Chris Paul was doing.
If you cannot give a clear, concise explanation of why, then that means your call is bullcrap.
100%.
I feel like I've seen players get texts for saying, "Come on, this is bullshit."
Yeah,
like that's just emotion to the call, or emotion to like, let's say you've been called for a foul, and like, for goodness sake, like that annoyance at that tech, and it's like, so what you want players to do? Just no emotion.
Even when people bounce the ball, this call, tech, come on.
Yeah,
bro.
I've seen that.
Jason Tatum.
Tatum as well.
It was wild. He just hanging on the rim after a dunk to save himself, and he got a tech for that.
They're getting too excited. I mean, obviously that's just one of Golden State's struggles. I mean,
there's many more.
So what we're gonna say about Draymond? Because Draymond, I like.
You can start.
He's on these rubbish again.
So I might defend him. I'm
just saying in terms of I'm not saying in terms of how he's playing.
No.
The extracurricular.
No. That's what I'm defending him on. The headlock. I'm defending him on the headlock.
Okay.
Because you have to figure out from his perspective. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he's seen his boy getting dragged down the court from looks like by his jersey. Yeah. And then when Klay tries to separate himself from the guy, it seems like McDaniels is on beef. Now I don't know Klay Thompson. You know, I've seen the videos of him doing his little pedal boat to the arena before. He seems very chill, very calm. He looks like a stoner, if we're being perfectly honest. I don't know if he's got hands, But I'll tell you someone on that team who does that because we saw those hands last season. We've seen the hands.
Boom.
The hands are certified. We know that, innit? So I know for a fact that Draymond saw that. He was like, "Nah, you can't do that to my guy.
Yeah.
You can't do that to my guy." So obviously he goes over there to try and defeat it. And in his defense, Rudy Gobert did have his hands, I'm not going to say around, but then around Klay's neck. However, he was a bit much. Sometimes I feel like when guys separate each other, you don't set. If I was trying to separate you two from having a fight, I wouldn't try and drag you by the collar. I would get in between and like that, pause. But I think it's very, very important to understand what Draymond saw from his perspective. But I have to say, the headlock lasted way too long.
It wasn't.
He
like,
had him in a sleeper.
It wasn't like he took him away and said, yeah, and then said,
relax.
"Look, bro, relax." He had him there. He said, "I ain't letting go." He
It
said,
was,
and on top of that, do you know how I know it was malicious as well? Do you know how I know it was malicious as well? Bro, he was holding on to him. As soon as he knew Carl Anthony Towns was around, he protected himself. He's been here before. He's been here before.
Listen,
that's what he's doing.
Do you know what's in Michigan? It used to be called Motor City, innit? Because that's what they used to make all the cars. They ain't doing that no more. There's nothing in Michigan, bro. So you got to learn to scrap. But also, I found it so funny because Draymond had a certified headlock. Gobert looked helpless. And it confirmed everything I thought about him before anyway.
Do you want to elaborate?
that French breast stick snapped, bro. He was not ready at all. Yeah? But not only that, it reminded me when Carl Anthony Towns was in a headlock on the floor. Ben Simmons had him in a headlock as well. And Carl Anthony Towns was like, he was stepping up.
He said, "Ben, please."
he couldn't get out of it. I was like, no way.
Yeah, no.
So you're telling me the two guys on your team who are supposed to be the most intimidating, your center and power forward, or your two centers, whatever you want to call them, both of them are victims.
Towns is fake, but he's a victim, bro.
Yeah, it's a hard
Both of them are victims.
Twin Towers and that, not really.
So like I said, I'll defend Draymond to the extent where like I see what he saw, so I understand. Like if that's your boy, you're backing your brethren. It is what it is. We know what that is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that could have been a headlock separate done. But my man was.
He said,
but he locked. What? He was like, yeah.
Fam.
He's trying to do a UFC.
and the thing is, he was walking back into enemy
I
territory.
thought he was gonna start elbowing him at the same time.
Yeah, he's ready to
Bam,
take
like
like
that.
bro.
He did not care, man.
No,
He didn't care.
It was peak. So it is what it is. He got his suspension.
Yeah.
Klay
Thompson has been like.
I need to chime in on this Draymond.
Go through.
Very quickly, yeah. So obviously, there's two sides to it. Obviously, you spoke about Draymond, what he saw. I think it's embarrassing. Draymond's in year 12, and he can't keep getting away with this. Like, this is what the sixth suspension he's had, and you're going on his career. So he had what in 2016.
Wait, sixth since 2016.
The sixth time he's been suspended, like outside of games. So sixth time.
Yeah.
First was obviously 2016 NBA Finals that arguably cost Golden State the title because that's when, like, he got suspended.
He got kicked out of Game 5, suspended for Game 6.
And he kicks LeBron in the groin.
Yeah.
Which now aided, and that was when obviously Golden State were 3-2
They were 3-2 up. They tie it. Cleveland goes and ties
it, and they tie it in Golden State.
They
tied it in Cleveland.
Tied it in Cleveland. They won it.
They won it in Golden State. So that's number one. Number two was in 2018, one for confronting KD. What essentially got KD out of Golden State. So November 2018.
Wait, he got kicked out of the game for arguing with KD.
No, the league suspended him.
Yeah. I thought the Warriors wanted to. I think they said
It was a suspension
when they were on the same team.
Yes.
Yeah. You remember that? Yeah, when they were on the same team.
Yeah.
Suspended.
Then there was no suspension but a fine for the Jordan Poole punch. So it was 2017. That was the sucker punch of all sucker punches.
Some say till this day, Jordan Poole can't go in a training facility again without cameras.
It's crazy. Then in March 2023, he got a 1 game for exceeding the NBA technical foul limit. And then 2023 April, 1 game for the Sabonis stomp.
Of course, stopped him on the ribs.
And now 5 games for the Rudy Gobert headlock. So we're talking numerous times. Draymond, like, we get it. You're a great, aggressive defender, whatever it might be, one of the best defenders of all time, hands down. This is poor. Nah, you have to give this.
No, so yes,
it will be by the time it's done. But this is not good enough. Like, for someone that's meant to be a veteran in the league, we spoke previously in the segment about young players needed to be getting coached better by people with experience, veteran leadership, maybe outside. This is a veteran within the game. How are you? Imagine a rookie coming into Golden State Warriors and trying to set advice to someone who's done all of this. Like, Draymond has done all of this, bro.
So have you heard the rumors, the agenda about Draymond and suspensions?
What's the what is it?
People be saying that when Steph ain't playing, he ain't trying to play.
Hey, Rudy Gobert said, yeah, he said
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And then when you looked at the stats, hey,
No.
it's looking like it's true.
No, but I could from that perspective, I understand it's probably frustrating, like getting your ass beat because when Steph's not there, that's what's really most likely happening, though.
Yes.
So, to some extent, you know.
Yeah, but it's this where it comes at. Draymond Green's response to it was, I'm in year 12. Y'all stop telling me to stop being Draymond. But at the same time, you have to. There's no accountability there. That's the point.
No, but like
zero.
Even you know what, I'm gonna support him again because if the league really wanted him to stop doing that stuff, they would stop him, but they don't.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's about also like you have to let players be who they are, isn't it? Because everyone's who they are. But as there's a limit, bro. Like you can't keep doing this and impacting your team, like affecting your team. We're gonna talk about your struggles.
I think
You've
that's
now
the
lost.
thing.
We don't again. Your value, what you are as a player right now in this current moment to Golden State is one thing, but you're not there.
Yep.
Roddy, you can talk about Golden State's struggles.
Right now, Golden State, they're 10th in the Western Conference.
Yeah, boy.
8 wins, 9 losses.
Yeah, boy.
Klay Cheekson, he's, I don't know, man, it's just, so he's averaging, so he's got 15 points per game, 40% from the field,
All his shots better be threes.
36% from threes.
Not far off them.
Yeah, so obviously field goal attempted is 13, threes attempted a game 7, so majority are threes. What's it?
Is he doing anything else?
Free throw percent 87%.
No, he's not doing anything else. 3.3 rebounds a
3.3
game,
rebounds,
2.3 assists, nothing.
Almost 2 turnovers, so the assists are.
What's his turnover ratio is us?
0. There.
He's not getting steals, he's not really getting blocks.
I mean, like.
What does FP stand for?
The PF. Player or FP, let's find out.
That's a random. His plus minus is the thing you need to look at.
Yeah.
Every other year he's had a positive plus minus, but it's slightly declined. Obviously he's had injuries in between. He's averaging a negative plus minus right now at minus, was it 1.6? I think the maddest thing about all of this is that this is the 1 year Klay had to play well.
Yeah.
The 1 year he had to absolutely play well.
He still has time, but
no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. They had to hit the ground running. I don't care what you say right now. There's nothing you can say that will convince me.
So you're telling me if let's say the next 2 games basic. He's basic, right?
Yep.
Let's say the same format's next 2 games.
Yep.
And then after that,
Yep.
he goes to average 20 points a game, 40% from 3.
Yeah.
Like if that happens for the rest of the year, are you telling me that's not enough time?
It means absolutely nothing to the Golden State
What do you mean?
Let me tell you facts and facts only.
What do you mean? How can that not be enough time if the rest of the season he performs?
Let me tell you facts and facts only. What are Golden State missing out on right now? Probably another scorer, right?
Yes.
Maybe Jordan Poole when he was still playing there, but that's neither here nor there. 20 points a game is not enough for them to warrant paying Klay Thompson the money that he's going to want.
So wait, 25 at least
25 what?
points.
Yes.
Okay.
Klay needed to have one of his best scoring years this year.
Wait, that wasn't even happening. The last time he averaged 25. I hope he's
never
averaged 25.
Exactly.
But he's had these streaky. Is that when you see his values through those?
He's normally managed to average 20 to 21 points a game for pretty much most of his career. Since he hit his.
But that's what I'm saying. If he goes back.
No,
to that,
Rodney, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter.
I'm not saying that they're going to. But I'm saying
Rodney.
If he's never averaged 25 points per game in his career,
yes,
are you telling me now he's going to?
That's when he needed to. If there was any time he needed to, it was now. And
I think it's because it's just been pure arse games. If it's like, okay, they've played how many games until now? What, 17? About 17 games?
Yeah, I think that.
So I think in those 17 games, if he had, okay, let's say he had 10 games where he was averaging 20 plus, and then let's say 3 or 4 of those games he's got off for like 40 points or something, and maybe 2 or 3 games which were like, okay, where's Klay? It would be a different thing. Obviously, it's not happening. But I'm saying if that was to happen, what would be the issue? Obviously, it's not happening. That's the fact.
Ronnie, do you know what Klay's current salary is?
What is it?
$43 million for 15 points a game. That's not 20 points a game. Isn't even worth that.
Klay, I'm gonna need to begin.
This is what I'm saying. This is why he needed to have his best.
43 million.
That's crazy.
43
And
million.
obviously, he worked hard to get that contract. I think at the time, and this is what I think is the realist part of the situation as well. When he signed that contract here, KD was still on the team or about to leave the team. He was getting paid 43 million to be the third option on the team. And I think they anticipated KD leaving, which is why they gave him that much money.
Yeah.
Saying, when he goes, you need to go back to being that number 2 guy. And obviously he's had injuries and whatnot. But I feel like considering he played pretty much the whole of last season, you need to be back.
Yeah.
I say last season, they won a championship when he came back.
Yeah.
Since then, he's been...
Yeah, but you can see from when he came back, he was never going to be the same player.
But he still managed to average 21 last year.
Yeah.
He did, and that was kudos to him. I don't think you're ever going to get better production from him. But however,
15 a game on
no,
cheeks.
no, that's what I mean. That's shocking. In terms of you play, like
on cheeks, bro.
you should be performing better than that. But I think I've been looking at a few things, and like you mentioned, Golden State have played 17 games this season. Klay has led their scoring once. Curry has led this Golden State scoring 13 out of them 17 games. Kuminga, Wiggins, Thompson, and Podmensky, if you pronounce his name correctly, are the only other guys in the team to have led the scoring in 1 game each.
Bear in mind, Steph would have had it for more games if he didn't get injured and had to miss some games.
And the worst thing about it is that Steph's had games where he's had 21 points. He's had he's 20.
And he's still leading.
That's what I mean. So this is whereby we're talking about Golden State struggles. 13 out of 17 games he's led their scoring. Klay Thompson, for what you're on, you cannot be leading their scoring in 1 game out of their opening 17 games. That's shocking. And you're looking at stats. They started off hot. They won 5 of their first 6, and then they went on a 6-game losing streak. And this is whereby you're looking at what Golden State, like they're a team that rightly so won the title 2 years ago. Klay Thompson, for what you're on and what you're performing at in a contract year.
It's arse, man. It's straight
Well, you
arse.
think you're something fishy's going on because it's not.
I just think you have to be realistic here. From Golden State's perspective, why would they bring in Klay Thompson?
100%.
Why are they going to re-up Klay Thompson for that kind of money? If Klay's like, yeah, I'll take a pay cut and take 15 mil a year, but he's not going to do that. Why? Because Draymond got some money last year. Draymond got some money. In the off season just gone. Did he not get an extension?
Yeah, he did.
So I think Klay's definitely, because I imagine his contract extension from here will be higher than the 43 he's currently on now, and I'm sure they won't do that because it would just ruin it. In my head, the only reason why they'll extend Klay Thompson, put him on the exact same amount of years, and just say you and Steph are gonna leave this team at the same time. That's the only reason.
I don't think he'll get anywhere near that.
Because
probably anywhere in the NBA.
I think Klay is one of those guys who might end up in Sacramento. I think he'll stay in California 100%. But I can imagine him taking on that, Ray Allen's role when he was in Miami. That kind of role in a team like Sacramento. Or if he's really trying to piss everyone off, go to the Lakers on a super reduced friendly contract. Take less money, just be the knockdown 3-point shooter. You don't want nothing else from him.
Right, I'm going to ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, we saw Klay Thompson's best ever month, where he averaged 27 points in January of this year.
Yeah.
Are we ever going to see that again? Because that arguably boosted him to get that 21 points over the course of the season last season.
Yeah.
I assume that probably gave him an added 2 points per game.
So it's probably something like that.
Based off the fact that was such a high scoring month, obviously the best of his career. So
are we going to see it again?
That's the question.
The thing is, he's a streaky player. Everyone knows he's a heat check player. So there's every chance he could have a period of time where he's averaging 35 or something stupid like that, just off the pure back that this guy's just hot from 3 right now, and that's just how it is. But I think all of that is irrelevant. We might see it, yeah, cool, but he's not. I don't think he's capable of doing it over the course of a season because he's never done it before. Yeah. Why is he now going to be able to do it in his older age? But also, even if he does do it, it doesn't translate even if he does do it for like a month or 6 weeks, something like that, I just don't see Golden State looking at this guy and saying, we can't keep paying all this money for a streaky player.
Of course not.
A streaky, I can't even call him a streaky shooter because if he's left open, he's here. That's not the question. But I think it's just they need more consistency than this, man. And I think I'm almost surprised that Steph is slightly doing what LeBron did in terms of in his older age. I don't know if I can say he's getting better because MVP Steph was MVP Steph. However, I'm not seeing him slow down the rate at which I thought I would. And I understand that he's a 3-point shooter, but it's just his fitness, his health, his stamina is still as good, if not better than ever before. So I feel like things like that would lead Golden State to believe that they don't have to go through a complete rebuild. If they don't bring Klay back, they could bring someone else next year to complement Steph's game, Draymond's game as well.
2
100%. Because think about it, who else are they paying outside of Steph, Klay, and Draymond right now?
No one.
Wiggins.
Wiggins.
Who's another guy I think is
What's going on? Because this is the questions about Wiggins as well. Because
people thought after the finals that
he was going to take this leap,
yeah.
and it was like we've been waiting for the Wiggins to appear from how long? Never did. Not consistent. Goes to Golden State, does a great job. He adds to the scoring defensively. Got the ring now, thinking, okay, cool. Now he's gonna really come with swag. He's gonna come with confidence. He's gonna be confidently scoring. He's gonna say, "Listen, Klay, relax. I'm here now, innit? You can chill." But I don't know. Maybe the situation with his dad or whatever, and I don't know. But he's just now is like what they're missing is Iggy to be like, "Hey, hey,
come on,
hey, come here," to everyone but Steph. Like literally, so
it's tough.
They do need to pick up, and obviously talking about they've been missing scoring and such. They used to get it from a guy called Jordan Poole, but that punch from Draymond,
he got punched at Washington, bro.
yeah, and now. Well, I don't know if you can still see out the eye because he be missing left all the time. Like,
that's wild.
What is going on? Because now the Wizards are looking to move on from Jordan Poole.
No, wait.
Well, not move on, but it's like apparently now they have some concerns.
There's rumors.
There's rumors. Allegedly, rumors, concerns.
There's always going to be. I just think.
But I feel like with rumors, it always comes from some sort of truth.
No, but like Jordan Poole's playing bad right now. Like he's having worse numbers now, being maybe the 1 or 2 option than he did when he was on the Warriors.
Yeah.
Do you want to read out stats? I got the stats in front of
you.
me.
Yeah, sure.
So, obviously, he was at Golden State for 4 seasons, but I'm going to read out his 2 seasons prior to this season.
Mm-hmm.
So, 2021-22, he averaged 18.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
He shot 36.4 from the 3-point line and 44.8 from the field. That was the year they won the title. Yeah, so they won the title that season. He then stepped up last season. He averaged 20 points per game. He shot, where are we? 33.6% from the 3-point
Which isn't great,
line. Isn't great. It's a decline on the season before, but it is what it is. He upped his scoring. And then field goal percentages, a slight decline to 43% from the field. Previous year was 44.8.
But this year?
This year, damn. 17.7 points.
Mm-hmm.
He's shooting 28.6% from the 3-point line. And is shooting a shocking 39.9% from the field. This guy's getting more touches. He is essentially Washington's 1-2 punch with him and Kuzma, depending on how you want to put that.
Such an arse combo.
It's a horrible combo. But it's not working. And I don't know if Rodney you want to land and allude to it, or you, sorry Cam, you were talking about it, but yeah, there's a lot that's just gone wrong with it.
The thing is with this guy Jordan Poole, is that
Who's Jordan again?
Bro, you have the keys to a team now. Essentially, like you're the number 1 option, basically 1 or 2 between you. Because I'll say you're the number 1 even because they brought you in for Now you have a chance to really showcase your skills. All the stuff that he said, why can't I just be Jordan Poole? All the things you were complaining about. Now is your chance. Go out there, perform, shine, do what you have to do. And this is what you do. You give him a team, and look at what he's on. He's telling people, shut up, nigga. I got it. It's my team.
Yeah,
Bruv,
that's so funny.
you're not actually bringing the championship mentality and vibes, which you got from Golden State. You're not bringing it to Wizards. I'm not saying you're going to completely change this franchise around, because you ain't. But at least you can see when someone's retuning their vibe, like, okay, for example, who can I say? Like, people who just, time you bring them to a team and the vibe that they bring to that team is changed, is affecting, is going on. Like, even when, for
When
example,
Chris Paul went to
Celtics.
the Suns for the first
When
time.
Chris Paul, that's it. Here we go. When Chris went to the Suns, look how he. And I'm not saying that Jordan Pool's going to do the exact same things as Chris Paul, because experience, time, and their games. But it's like
mentality.
and the thing is, even how the certain shots, I say, the shot that he made, that he took, and yes, right, he made that shot, but your teammate was there crying for the ball, and I'm not saying that it was like a bad shot, because obviously you've made it, so what can I really say? But you also need it's your team, but your team also needs to get involved. They're pissed off at you, so they don't want to. I'm sure that guy, what's his name again?
Then you have to.
That's it. First of all, is like, I was first like, why is this guy complaining? Because since you've been drafted, you have not shown that you're top 10. You've done niche. So you shouting complaining, you need to get yourself up there first, because you've done nothing at all. But then it's like the coaches, they're coming there, they're running the play, they do all these things. You're not paying attention. You know, you're now trying to get a sneaky link with the clipboard and that. Like, fam, what's going on? What are you doing?
What's the sneaky?
Fam, sneaky link with the clipboard. Like, I don't understand what's going on. This is your chance. Like, you got to be playing. Obviously, you've got years left on the contract and that, but it's like, play well from now. So what your value is top tier. Like, listen, we can see. Yeah, Golden State. Like, no one right now is saying Golden State amazing Jordan Poole, because he's pants.
And they're missing scoring. That's the worst thing about it.
I do, like, I agree with you that and I think I do think he just started the season quite badly. I've like, looking at his last few games, he's had a bit of an uptick in points, 26s, 33s and stuff like that. So maybe by the end of the season, he'll be averaging around the numbers that he had in Golden State, even though I think he should be having a little bit better. I do have to speak.
What do you think he should be averaging by the end of the year?
24 a game, I think.
23
is
to
what,
25.
But if you're the lead scorer on the team, you need to, for your team to even really have a real chance, not even a real chance, because I've seen absolute arse teams have a lead scorer who's done bits. Dame was putting up big numbers on Portland when they weren't doing nothing.
Bill, privacy.
100%. So I think, 24 at a minimum, because I imagine that Kyle Kuzma as well, I expect him to have at least 20 points a game as well. But some of the players in that team are shit, you know. Like, I'll be real. Denny, if I saw Denny Wavers as Cameron would not pass him the ball either.
I'm not. That's what I was saying.
Bro, he's averaging 8.4 points per game this season. Like, I don't want to hear none of that.
How many shots is he taking, though?
I don't know. He's shooting 43.8% though, so he's not shooting efficient, or that efficient anyway. 31% from the three. Like, I'm not passing you the ball in the 3-point line either, if I'm honest. I mean, John Paul's shooting like shit as well, but it just seems like the whole Wizards situation is a mess. I can't lie.
Jeez,
like
2-14.
They had who shot that?
No, that's them. Have you seen their roster?
No, bro, it's pants.
Look at
Their roster is absolutely.
Where's Denny? Yo, Denny's gonna. Yeah.
Do you know what as well? Yeah, I really thought that them getting Trey Jones would bring in structure and composure to guys like Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma.
Tyus Jones,
11.
Huh?
He's only 11 points.
Trash.
Yeah, no, it's not a good roster. I think you meant Tyus Jones. You mean?
Yeah, I said Trey. Sorry, Tyus Jones. I thought it would bring a lot more structure and composure to them, but them boys are just running around doing whatever the hell they want. They drafted Bilal Coulibaly, which I think was one of the worst drafts. And it's not because I don't really know this guy that much. I know he was on Victor Wembanyama's team when he was back in France, and he got drafted. I think a lot of that based off that. He's a potential project. I just think there were really good players still left in the draft that you could have taken instead of taking him. I think he was like the 8th pick or something like that, which is crazy. And this is a team that haven't really got talent like that. Like, you could have gotten like yourself a star or potential star. Instead, you've gone with this, which seems like a lot of a project. I reckon he's going to be a similar thing to Giannis, and I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Giannis. I'm not talking about that in terms of you, but you draft him and hope for the best that he ends up like Giannis. I don't necessarily know if he's going to be like Giannis at all. I'm just saying they really drafted him 100% off potential. The Wizards are trash. Wizards are us, straight booty, and I don't really know if Jordan Poole's even the one to blame for this.
No,
he's basically 28 million a year. So I think this is where the blame comes to you.
Yeah, but what's Kuzma on?
Kuzma is on.
I
where
can't
is
lie,
this guy?
Denny's numbers, they are asked, not asked, but it's 11 points per game.
It's not enough for you to be waving your hands. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 11 points per game. It's taking 9 shots.
25.5.
Yeah, taking 9 shots a game. 51% field goal percentage. 3 points attempted. He's taking about basically 2 to 3 a game. He's shooting 40% from 3.
All I'm saying,
But it's like it's his plus minus is minus 6.3. So really and truly, bro, you're waving your hands like you. Come on, like let's be honest,
bro. Listen, tonight is an arse ball. Is it tonight? Tonight is the arse ball.
Yeah.
The Pistons versus the Wizards.
Oh my.
The 2 worst records in the NBA
Guys,
are playing against each other.
that quality of basketball.
Gonna be horrific. I want all you young ballers to tune in and look at what these guys are on and say, I don't want to be like
I
that.
don't want to be like that.
I don't want to be like that.
But they made it. But they don't want to be like that.
But I just can't. I don't understand from a few perspectives. One, why Washington decided to. If you got Jordan Poole with the expectation that he's going to be your number 1 guy until you get a good enough draft pick, and I think right now, I mean, they're almost guaranteed the top 3 pick right now based off this record. If they continue throughout the whole season, and I'm sure they will because I don't see them getting much better.
Not with that roster.
No, like if we're being honest. So if you got Jordan Poole and said, you know what, this is going to be a number 1 player, and we're going to build around him through the draft and whatnot until we have someone who's better than him, fine, that's no problem. But if you're telling me that your expectation was to acquire him in that trade for Bradley Beal, build up his trade value to then move him, I think that's a silly move. I think that's a very silly move. What have Washington really gotten in return since they moved off Bradley Beal?
That was the question I was actually going to ask you all, and I don't know. Looking at what they've really got in value in terms of obviously Jordan Poole was part of that, the whole whatever the exile. Eventually came through the whole CP3 thing and everything. You're looking at their roster. There's nothing I can tell you that's improved, or you've got value inclined for losing Bill.
Let me tell you what they got, yeah. Because pick wise, they got loads of picks. They got Chris Paul, which eventually turned into what's that guy's name? Chris Paul eventually turned into Jordan Poole.
Yeah, Jordan Poole. Yeah.
Landry Shamet, Bilal Coulibaly. Because it was a 3-way trade with the Pacers on draft night, so they got that number 7 pick in exchange for the 8th pick. Then they got a first round pick swap for this year, 2 second-round picks, a first round pick swap for 2026, a 2026 second-round pick, 2027 second-round pick, a 2028 first-round pick swap, a 2028 second-round pick, a 2030 first-round pick swap, and a 2030. Like they got hella draft picks out of it, so I think maybe going forward, that's the angle they're going with, and they're just saying, in the meantime, we got to pay someone. We might as well get this guy, and hopefully, people buy tickets and whatnot. But, bro, let's be honest right now. I expect the Wizards to continue being us. I think us organizations
Basically
will continue to be us. Yeah. Like they should have moved off Bradley Beal ages ago. I don't think you need to be loyal to players, or players don't need to be loyal to teams, because this is the result of it. This is the result of it.
Yeah, I think like we spoke about teams being able to use their leverage and get the maximum value, and obviously Bill had the
no trade clause.
That's it, the no trade clause, which gave him the power to essentially go to where he wanted to.
Wherever.
So yeah, this is it. That's what you sign up for, is what you deserve. So do you?
Yeah, well, we'll be seeing exactly what if Golden State flip their troubles over, if Jordan Poole does flip the switch. We'll see what he does at the end of the season. Moving on, the in-season tournament. So, obviously, the bracket is out there, but things are still to be determined because it's December, and it starts December the 4th.
Yeah, tomorrow's the next game day.
So how is it? So who goes through? Is it like?
So I can tell you right now.
Yeah, who goes? Because I'm still a bit like, obviously I've seen what I got on, but that was scared.
So it's gonna be 4 teams from each conference that goes through, right? Mm-hmm. So the way they've grouped them is they've split the conferences into 3 groups. Mm-hmm. The winner of each group goes through, and then there's one wild card spot for each conference, for which it will be the team with the best record that I think goes through into a wildcard spot. So right now,
the best number 2.
Yeah. So right now, in the East,
Pacers are
Indiana have secured it.
Yeah.
Milwaukee. So Indiana 4-0, Milwaukee 3-0, Orlando 3-1.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Knicks at the wildcard spot at 2-1 right now. But then you also have
The Celtics
1,
also.
2, 3, 4, 5, 4 other teams
Yeah.
in Miami, Brooklyn, Cleveland, and Boston who also are 2-1 as well.
Yeah.
In the West, you got the Lakers,
Mhm.
4-0. The Kings, 3-0. The Pelicans, 3-1, and the Suns on 3-1 as well. So, I mean, first of all, I've enjoyed the in-season tournament. I'm pretty sure you guys have enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, no, that's
Just from
good.
the perspective that there's always these lulls in the NBA season prior to this season where the season would start and it would be entertaining for the first couple of weeks, maybe a month, and then it'll start to slowly dip off because there's too many games to care about. You know, 82 games in a season is a lot. But I think this is really one. It's done a lot as a fan to keep me engaged, give me a reason to keep paying attention to something as well.
Yeah.
But also, you look at a team like if at the beginning of the season I told you Indiana and Orlando were going to be in the playoffs for this in-season tournament, you'd be looking at how. Obviously, both teams have done pretty. Orlando have started the season very well.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah. But like Indiana has really come out of nowhere, in my opinion. I think Tyrese Halliburton is
leading the charge.
But I think this is also why it's important because you could have a let's say right now you'd only won 4 games in the regular season, but all 4 of them were in the in-season tournament. You'd be top of the league.
And there's something for you to fight.
100%.
Yeah.
Look at the Lakers, innit? You guys haven't had a terrible start to the season. Not an amazing start, but you haven't had a terrible start at all. But being 4-0 in the in-season tournament, it's made a massive difference.
It gives that perspective. Like there's something positive to look at,
100%.
rather than just the record that we have, which I think is 10-7. And I think
how all the prizes at 500k per player, isn't it?
Yeah, bro.
It's good money if you win it.
It's almost like there's 500k on the line.
Bro, like, it's a good incentive. That there's probably incentives for the franchise, incentives, and there's money that
Coaches get money as well.
Coaches get money. I'm sure it goes filters down to like the staff or whatever. Like probably a staff bonus.
Darvingham doesn't deserve the money, but yeah, go ahead.
But I think like the Colts are shocking. I think they're so ugly. Some of the Colts.
Swear down.
I don't like some of the Colts. The
Like
colour
some of them
combinations.
it looks alright.
Some of the
I
colour
like it.
Some of the colour combinations are
If you
shocking.
like it, I love it.
I need. Nah.
Haven't no
Pause. What are you talking about?
First of all,
Yeah, I was
what the
just about
fuck
to
is
say
that?
Okay, first of all,
You sound like Giddey.
No,
Yeah, what's going on there, bro? I love it.
What the fuck is this?
Hey, Lucy, bro.
don't do that.
You know that video where Diddy was on Drink Champs and he was calling Fabulous Daddy and stuff like that? No, I feel uncomfortable.
Wow, did it?
I feel mad
Have you
uncomfortable right now.
have you not heard that before?
No, I don't want to hear that.
No, they're good, bro.
But
I'm not taking things to the internet anymore.
Yeah, but I think it's not that saying. I think it's been good for what it's done, and I feel like you correctly said like the initial part of the season is great. Then it's the lull before Christmas. Everyone gets geared up for Christmas games. Then there's a bit of a lull, not a lull. Say there's like the early start of the prior to the All-Star game, and then it's everyone wakes up post trade deadline All-Star
100%.
game. So I think them putting it here has kind of made people. Teams wake up. It's made the game exciting. I've loved some of the clashes with like the rivalry matches, especially like Golden State, Sacramento. Like there has been a bit of fire to it. I don't know if the Golden State, the Draymond Green headlock was it an in-season game or not. I can't remember, but there clearly a lot of fire and fight.
Quickly, sorry. One thing I really like about this is the points differential thing as well, because
I
it
was
means
gonna
that people are
mention
playing the whole game.
Yeah.
Right now, the way they've, you know how I mentioned how 4 teams or 5 teams have the same record, 2-1 in the East, right?
Yeah.
With New York, Miami, Brooklyn, Cleveland, and Boston. Between them, there's like an 18 point differential.
That's mad.
That's what separates being in the tournament and out of the tournament.
Yeah.
So Boston right now, who are 8th technically because of points differential, if they go and blow someone out in their last in-season tournament game by like 30 or something like that, they'll be in a much better. They'll be in a very good position to potentially still make it, which is why it keeps it entertaining. Outside of the fact that they're playing right until the final whistle.
Yeah.
I've never understood this. Even when playing junior basketball, we never used to do that. Like you would play until the rest of the game's done. So to see people like just come to the end of the game dribbling, bro. Listen, people got parlays. People got accumulators to it, innit? Stop messing it up. You know what I'm saying?
Parlays.
Dribbling it down, man. Bro, we need 2 more points.
No, go get that bucket, man.
Yeah, man.
Exactly, 100%. I'm not here to watch that. So I love it. And I think maybe the NBA should start, the regular season start doing points differential as well.
I think just breaking down the way it works, I think you were talking about it. So the note, it works head-to-head in the group stage is number one. Then it's points differential. Then it's total points scored in the group stage. Hence why you need to get them points.
Yep.
And then it's the regular season record from 22-23. That's just the way, if there's mad tiebreakers, it will go down. But, the knockout rounds start next week. So next Monday, December the 4th, and it'll feature 8 teams. Semi-finals would then be in Thursday, the 7th of December.
That's in Vegas, right? Semi-finals and finals are in Vegas.
In Vegas, yeah.
Cool.
The final 4 teams will all go to Vegas. And then championship match in Vegas, December the 9th. So that's next week, Saturday. So it would be a lovely thing to see who finally gets the inaugural one. And it's something else, like, again, imagine it being MVP, in-season tournament winner and NBA champion. It's like, bro.
These are going to be the new accolades that people care about as well. Like, I'm not saying they won't care about a final MVP, NBA finals, like championship trophy or anything like that. But if you got 2 guys who have the same accolades, for instance, Steph and LeBron have been tied on the same amount of rings for a while. Yeah. LeBron has more MVPs, but Steph has a unanimous, so people say, oh, was that equate to whatever. Stuff like this, if LeBron goes and wins the in-season tournament, I'm not going to say, oh yeah, that's the defining factor why he's better than Steph, even though I believe that anyway. But it's another thing to kind of weigh up against, and obviously another reason why it's even more difficult to compare these players to the past, because this is why I like Adam Silver in it, regardless of what like your personal views are about him or anything like that. He's not scared of change. Yeah. Like there needs to be a level of innovation with this, because shit can get boring after a while, man.
It's like the playing. I like what he did with that. I was against it a bit at the beginning.
But it's made it so, and I remember that was only going to be like a 2-year trial, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They said, no, we have to keep that, man. Everyone likes it. I think even now, them going back to East versus West of the All-Star might bring a level of competitiveness back to it as well.
Exactly, yeah.
But again, you spoke about change. He was willing to change that in the first place to then get the whole charity thing, the way that All-Star game worked. Realised it fizzled out over the last couple of seasons. Let's retool it. So yeah, you've got to respect that.
Yeah,
man, no, this in-season tournament is really, really interesting. I like how
who wins it, by the way, before we move on. Who wins it? Put your man on the spot.
I think it's hard not to. The thing is,
I'm going to go for the team that's bullying it right now. I'm going to say the Pacers are going to win it all.
No. I don't think. The thing is, you might not be wrong in it. I think,
bro.
The Pacers could definitely get to the finals, though. They could definitely get to the finals, though. But I just look at the 4 teams in the West that are even in the conversation, and I don't think the Pacers have a chance against any of them.
Yeah, I just name them.
The Lakers, no chance.
Yes, they have a chance.
The Kings, no chance.
Yes,
that job would be sick. A Kings Pacers finals, where obviously the products of the trade and stuff like that. Halliburton going up against
De'Aaron
Fox, man, that would be good. That's what I'm rooting for, because I think any level of pettiness and competitiveness will make it more interesting.
Yeah.
But it'll be quite cool to see a Bucks Lakers potential finals matchup as well early. You know, Phoenix as well.
Yeah, I want them to get out of it as soon as possible, man. Because they're Phoenix. They're a good team.
Oh, you don't want to play them?
Not in the one-off game.
Were they not in your bracket?
Yeah, no, we've beaten them.
Okay,
but it's still the Phoenix are a problem. In the one-off game, they can beat anyone.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to another point. So, talking about teams that are doing well, not only just in the in-season tournament, but also in general. The Orlando Magic have started off this season on a very good high. They are currently second in the East with a 12-5 record. Just to list the teams they have played, who they've won against. So they've beaten the Pelicans, beaten Cleveland, Houston, Portland. Yeah, okay, those are easy ones. Utah, Lakers, Milwaukee. Chicago,
Nuggets,
Indiana, Toronto, Nuggets, Celtics, Hornets. Like
that's an impressive. That's an impressive run back. I think they it should be a given that they, not even a given that they should be, but like they're gonna play the bad team. It's the good teams that I'm like you said, Lakers, Nuggets, Celtics.
Celtics 3 of the 4 of the last season. You know what I mean? Like they were conference finals, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's very impressive. It's very impressive. Very, very impressive. But, I mean, what do you think that's down to? Do you think it's down to, like, continuity in the team? Because my beef with Orlando is that they have way too many guards, and they drafted 2 more guards this year, who I think are now playing in the G League as a result of it because there's just too many of them. But also, I imagine an element of it is just like continuity. This is probably one of the first years they haven't had an enormous amount of change.
Yeah, they haven't had enormous amount of change, and they've built chemistry with the team they have, isn't it? And, and everyone's playing. Jonathan Isaac's back playing well.
Fuck that guy, man.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Do you remember he was defending not kneeling for the thing?
Yeah, he was.
Oh yeah.
He's a pussy.
He was mad, and then what happens? He takes ACL. It's kind of nuts, but humbling.
Someone definitely did some jiu-jitsu with it. Had a double just bending the knee.
Well, but yeah, no, everyone's playing well. Everyone's playing their part as well. One thing is that Cole Anthony is actually looking more controlled this year, like in terms of how he's playing. He's not playing wild. Jalen Suggs, he's doing what he needs to do as well. But I do like how they're playing. I've actually watching their games and seeing how they're playing. That defensively they take pride. Offensively, it's not it's not selfish. It's team basketball, and whoever's got the hot hand, you feed the hot hand, and if anything comes out of that. You know what I mean? So I like how they've started, but also it reminds me of that time where the Magic were the first seed and they didn't lose. What time? It was ages ago.
When Dwight was there?
No, Aaron Gordon was on that team as well.
Aaron Gordon?
What, Vucevic?
It was Aaron Gordon and Vucevic.
I don't remember them not losing for time.
No, not for. I'm saying I think they won 5-6 games in a row, and
then
then they had a good record. Like after that, they was first in the.
They might have even made the playoffs. I reckon.
I don't know, but. That's the thing. It's one of the ones where it's a good start. We just got to see where it goes because things can flip.
I mean, like just looking at some of their games, like for instance, the one against Denver, innit? Like from what I'm seeing, they're pretty good at home. Like they're defending home well, but also they're not confused about who is and who isn't the the leaders in this team. Innit? Like, it's Paolo and Franz.
Yeah,
and I don't think it's a question. I thought Paolo was going to be the lead scorer in this team, but right now. I'll check the stats anyway, but
that's looking at.
I'm sure.
It's 19.8 and 19.5.
Yeah, like which isn't bad. I kind of want 20 from both of them to be honest, but
let's sit on it. Pause. Basically.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. There's only so much. There's only so much.
That's it. That's
back to back. No.
Nah, you gotta get the symptoms for that one, bro.
Hey,
Hey,
basically,
technical foul, Julian.
You're right. But what I find interesting, they're starting Anthony Black in some of their games.
Like, I was going to talk about that.
I don't want to shut him too much in it, but he's not playing well. But he's a rookie, he's playing 15 minutes. But they're bringing Cole Anthony off the bench. But he's playing the vast majority of the minutes at the guard position.
But that's the thing, because the thing is with Mac is that yes, he's a rookie, but he's just gonna play the point role where he's not gonna be like Anthony, where Anthony's more of a scoring guard. I'm not saying he's but because he's averaging 1 assist.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm just saying in terms of,
I think that's what he's there to do.
Yeah, he's just there just to bring the ball up
and
let the play happen and give the ball to Paolo Franz, make something happen out of that. Whereas Cole Anthony is better that he's off the bench. With that second unit, doing what he needs to do. And he's been playing well. He's taken the Tims off, so he's playing. He's playing much better.
There's just a level of balance to this team as well. Like, I think, like I said, with Paolo and France, you know what you're getting in terms of the scoring effort, and they're not just one dimensional as well. Like they both rebound, they both pass the ball as well.
Yeah.
I guess Cole Anthony might just end up getting Sixth Man of the Year. The way it's looking. If I'm there, I'm not messing with the formula. Like, I'm keeping it the way it is.
Yeah, averaging 15.
I also want to shine light on another team that is playing very well, and that's the Minnesota Timberwolves. That is really go headlock.
Is it the Timberwolves or is it Anthony Edwards? Because
that's the Timberwolves.
I think I do, and you know I don't like giving credit to people like that, but I do. I have to give credit to the whole team because there are games they've played against tough teams like the 76ers. Where I don't believe Embiid played in that game, did he?
I
Let me check. Yeah, no, he didn't play.
He didn't. No, I don't.
Apparently, he's been ducking smoke. Apparently, no business. But like that game, they beat Golden State in a back-to-back. One of the games was when Finn got put in a headlock. They won that game by 3. That was an in-season tournament game, like you said.
The game that was really amazing was when Draymond got bare. He was chatting. He obviously fouled.
That was good shit.
That was such a great moment. It was like, I've arrived. It was like, I've arrived. And I don't think Draymond was actually mad and salty. He was like, you know what?
Yeah, fair play.
He chatted, I chatted, he chatted back, and he actually backed his talk.
Yeah,
like
I chatted shit and got banned.
Yeah, literally. Like, now I know what Paul feels like, but you know what I mean? It's like,
Who feels like?
Paul.
Paul.
Jordan.
Bro, is that not a pause? Why are you talking about what man them feel like?
No, because
he's trying so hard to get it back. He's trying so hard to get it back.
I'm trying to come back in the chat. I'll be back in the chat. I want to come back.
Fling it, one foul.
but like, I think Minnesota's stuff is impressive because if they beat the Heat by 16, they beat the Nuggets by 21.
Oh, was Jokic playing?
Yeah.
That's the one that Jokic got like 38. Like 18 or 19 rebounds.
Didn't matter. They beat the Celtics by 15. They beat the Pelicans by 21. Like the games in which you know I wouldn't even expect them to really win. They've come out and won them quite convincingly. Yeah, they lost by 18 to the Suns, and they lost to the Kings by 13. But the long and short of it, to me anyway, looks like they've got a formula. They understand they have to go and be an extremely aggressive scoring team to win these games. I have no idea what I think about Karl Anthony Towns anymore. No idea.
Listen,
right, before we cuss Karl Anthony Towns, I do want to give them a bit of flowers because he deserves a cussing. I think you spoke about they were a very high scoring team last season though.
Yeah.
I think even the last couple seasons they've always been a very high scoring team.
There was the problem there was the lack of consistency. Like Towns was injured quite a lot, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I think now we're seeing a bit more fluidity in players being healthy. The starting lineup's not changing as much as it used to be. However, I think what also we're seeing is Anthony Edwards is stepping up. He's really and I think that was a bit of the problem before. Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns, we didn't know he was the number one. I feel right now, and it's being clear to us, but I think it's more clear to everyone else, including the people in the organisation.
Yep.
Anthony Edwards is number one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but
he is.
But the reason I was saying I'm confused about Cat. Cat's averaging 21 and 9 on 50-40-90.
Yeah.
Like,
that's very, very good.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying Anthony Edwards is not number one. However,
no, it's that Edwards is the number one, but Towns is also it's like a two-headed dragon.
Should be 1A, 1B, innit?
That's what it is. It's like it's good like this because it's better to have this problem than flipping Towns having given 15, 11, and you know what I mean. So
let Towns play the efficient game.
However, the reason I want to cuss Towns, he's never away from a cussing. Is there's two things to it.
He didn't back his brethren.
You did back your bedroom, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're this big ass, pause. Like, you're a big guy, bro. I don't know. How tall is he? Guys, help me.
6'11".
6'11". What's wrong with these guys? He's 6'11".
What's wrong with you, bro?
What's wrong with you?
He was on that flight, man.
No, he's 6'11". I did back his bedroom. But there's also this, what you're seeing in Towns now, obviously, I know his points per game is not the highest. I think he's averaged about 24, 25 before. You're probably seeing better, efficient basketball within the Timberwolves than himself. I mean, 50-40-90 is pretty incredible. And I just want to see this level of consistency throughout the season. This is why he needs a customer, because I don't want to see this, 16 games in, and you get to game 50 and this guy's, everything's dropped. He's going like 42, 70 and 30, do you know what I mean? You want to see this level of Karl Anthony Towns, even if he's not going to be getting that 25 points per game, but what he's sitting on that now, 21.8, 22 points per game, he stays on what he's averaging throughout the season. And the only thing with Karl Anthony Towns, we just haven't seen that. With Anthony Edwards, we have seen more consistency within his NBA career. And I feel if these two can really spearhead the Timberwolves to where they are, and obviously Gobert on defense. Conley, we could all talk about how amazing of a veteran point guard he is, and he's always been. And there's pieces within that team to really potentially compete.
Quickly. So, like, I've never done this before. Do you know what Cat's career stats are?
Go on.
23 points, 11 rebounds, 3.2 assists, 1.3 blocks on 52% from the field, 39.5 from three, and 83.7% from the free throw line. Like those, that's better than a lot of people's favourite players' stats, you know, for their careers.
Especially on that shooting. That's very
The efficiency is crazy.
Yeah.
This is why the efficient game right now is working for him. Is like when he's being like, he just needs to stay efficient, pick his shots, let Edwards run wild and do what he needs to do, and just go from there. Like right now, it's working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But also, I think there needs to be a level of, because we've seen it before, the story of Carl Anthony Towns, when the lights are on, or when it's a big game,
Deer in headlights.
literally, you see him shooting 2 for 21 or something. Now, and it's this needs to end. I think this is where this season we really need to see him step up. And it's not about, we know the guy can go for 30, 40 points a game, whatever it is, and a good given night. We know how much of a brilliant player he can be. It's more about being efficient and knowing when to step up and understanding that, you know, you've got Anthony Edwards here. Let him take those points. Don't go for 2 for 21 in a big game. Do you know what I mean? We don't want to see that story again when it's a pivotal game, it's a pivotal moment in the season where the lights are on you, you're just shooting ass, you know? So we need that consistency. But at the moment, it's working, and credit to them. You want to talk about a third team? I'll do one.
What they're doing well.
I was going to say...
I want to talk about who's been disappointing.
We'll do well first then.
Who else has been doing well?
I would say...
OKC. I thought OKC have been doing very well. That team, I've been saying it for a minute now.
Yeah,
what have you been saying for a minute?
Oh, tell us one.
I've been saying.
Because I gave you flowers earlier because I remembered, but I don't remember you saying. So what did you say?
No, I thought OKC are doing well. I like the team that they're building.
Okay.
I like who they have.
Yeah.
You know, Chet is more polished, obviously with being a facility and everything, but still he's polished. He's a problem. He's doing very well. I like his game. Everything. He's good. SGA is leading that team charge. He's even leading the MVP voting right now currently.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't think you should.
He is.
Who should?
Yes, he should. Yes, he should.
Who should?
Have you seen SG? Yes, SG.
Embiid, Jokic.
No. I know.
I wouldn't put you with them.
No.
Embiid,
It's also OKC has a better record than both those teams.
Exactly, and SG.
Barely.
No, but they do.
OKC's 11-5. Denver Nuggets 11. Okay, cool, yeah, barely 11-6.
And I'm sure the fun.
Let's go to the 76ers. Yeah. They are 11-5. Okay. All right. Yes.
Barely.
That is literally barely.
Yes, that is literally barely. Yes, you're right. However, the team is really they're a unit. Like Kaysen Wallace. The guys off the bench, what's his name? Isaiah Joe.
That guy's a sniper, bro.
Sniper. I don't know why the Sixers let him go, but hey ho. Yeah, they're doing well. What's it? Yeah, I say Chet, SGA, J Dub,
third all-time leader scorer. OKC already.
It doesn't surprise me, bro. He's been there since his second year in the league. He got drafted in 2018. Whoa, actually, wait. So one's Westbrook, two's KD, right?
I'm just fine.
Or evil.
It's good. Westbrook was that
it's them two, yeah.
Westbrook 1, KD 2,
Yeah.
Shea 3.
Yeah.
Who's 4? Harden.
No, it was Surge, innit? Surge.
No way.
I'm sure it was Surge, because didn't he just pass Surge? So I'm sure it was Surge. I'm sure it was Surge.
Looking to 4, let you know.
But like I said, as a team, J Dub,
right.
yeah, like they're all playing very well, and it's definitely it's complementary, and it's up. Like last season, they were missing that kind of shot blocking, presence in the paint, and
they're just missing another scorer. Like
Chet was there now, and I feel like what it is like yes, SJ is there, but you got Chet as a nice number scorer there. You got J Dub that's now stepping up there too, and then you have Kaysen Wallace as well as like all these guys. They're just literally chipping in, and it's a very good unit right now. So they're going to be an issue. So hey, if they keep this up, serious. Quickly, if SJ continues like how he's continuing, still have these numbers, everything efficient, great. Showing obviously that he's a scorer, he can play defense, good two-way, and they finish, let's say, top 3. Should he win MVP?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Because right now, I reckon MVP, I haven't even looked at it, but like knowing the way they moved, Shea's probably up there. Embiid's probably up there. Jokic is probably still up there. Giannis probably not so much. Luka's probably up there as well.
Tatum's sitting on the outside.
I don't see why not to be honest. And I'd love to see a change, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a change. I was really advocating for Embiid to win the MVP last year. And now I'm watching him, I just get so pissed off watching him play, man. not because he's not good, just because like he's flailing around too much.
Too much.
He's a free throw merchant as well, which isn't like necessarily his fault, but like
it is, man. Gotta be flopping, bro.
Yeah, and obviously I just wanted to chime in on obviously people when we talk about NBA and we talk about how teams are built within the draft, both OKC and Orlando have seriously like the last 2020-21 seasons the bottom two teams in the league.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
21-22, they were OKC were 14th, Orlando Magic again were 15th, so bottom again. And now they're sitting both 2 seeds in each respective conferences. So this is whereby the retooling, if you build well, and we talk about teams having to let players go and restart again, it can be done.
I do have to say though, Utah did this last year. Utah came out and they won a hella games to start the season.
Yeah, but the thing is,
and they were at one point, were they not the one seed in the West?
Yeah, no, they were.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, come on,
it made no sense.
If we look at Utah, who they had, what was happening, it was like it was a facade.
Ari was moving mad.
I don't expect. Even to
was.
today, I don't expect either of these two teams to finish in the top like 3 of their conference.
But
Either of them, even if they make the playoffs, I don't think they're going to be up.
The only thing I say is that like okay, they just kind of like destroyed their team, put whatever they had together. It was like a facade. Whereas with OKC, they've been rebuilding and built from the ground up, and they've been taking leaps each year. Now that there's more stability in the core, it's not like just a thing where it was the same team as last year or they've gotten worse and they're doing this. They've actually built a good core with their team to actually cause issues. So that's all what I'm saying.
I think Shaq coming in has aided. So what you saw last year, they just missed out on the play-in. They were a very good team. They were a bit unfortunate towards the back end that they were getting a bit of form.
Yeah.
Missed out. Shaq coming in he's a top player. As much as he's a rookie, he's a player that is very, very good in this position. He's come in, he's elevated the team to a place whereby it's hard to play against them. You're not going to get easy games. You're probably not going to win easy. And going there, you playing them, it's a tough game.
Yeah.
So and the Magic, similar but different. You didn't really see this form last year, but you're seeing more consistency. You saw it from Banchero last year. We all knew what he was coming into the season. We didn't know the rest of the team. They've come in strong. And then the Timberwolves, we've seen it in spurts, but more consistent level. So we've seen this before. So we're going to talk about the disappointments now.
Yeah. So first disappointment, I'm going to say the New Orleans Pelicans.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Disappointed.
They're terrible, man.
They're not.
Yes, they are.
How are you? That's the first team we're going to mention, the Pelicans. They've never been that bad.
They're currently 9-8. They're currently 9-8.
They just look.
They're currently 9th in the conference.
And obviously, I understand CJ McCollum with the collapsed lung has taken effects, but I don't know. I don't know what it is, man.
They're tough though. Like I watched the game where they played against us last week, and it was a tough game. And I'll be honest, we were playing a bit cheeks, but like there were times in the game where the Pelicans just kept scoring and it wasn't like they're doing anything fancy. They literally gave the ball to Zion, and Zion was creating, whether he was getting fouled or just scoring in the paint. He is still near enough unstoppable, That he is still near enough unstoppable because he's still got a very quick first step. He's still very powerful and still pretty damn athletic as well. I think it's a bit harsh to say they're disappointing because of the reason you just listed. Their third option has not been about. Brandon Ingram has been very, very good offensively. I thought at times maybe they should go with him at the 1. I don't really.
No, that's gonna ruin it, man.
He has ball handling ability. Pause. Yeah. Like he can play make for that team. What's the average?
5.1 assists.
Bro, like he's 24, 5 and 5 is a nice. He's
leading them in
I
assists.
get he's get 5 assists, but let's not overdo it.
But we know that's what they're missing. Outside of
him to focus on scoring as well.
If Lonzo didn't get hurt, that would be their biggest mistake of letting him go.
Yeah.
Because they've never really been able to replace that since. I think that's really where they're probably struggling a little bit. Zion, I guess, could be averaging some more points, but at the same time, bro, like I'm certain he's only going to play 50 games max this season. I'm certain he's only going to play 50 games max this season because he just looks so wham.
I think
He's not. You don't think he's?
Well, you think he's cut down?
No, I'm saying obviously from last season to now a bit.
From the off season where the pictures and videos of him walking around, yeah, he's in game shape now, but he's still.
So he still needs to. What you're saying? Just okay, fair enough.
I just think there's a clear formula in it.
Like Duke days.
I don't think they're that bad though.
But there's a clear formula of NBA players who are either really ridiculously tall or ridiculously heavy, just never stay healthy. So I know what it is. I agree though. I think you're being a little bit harsh on them. I do think you're being a little bit harsh.
There's definitely teams that deserve to get.
Hit me with one, Jules.
The LA Clippers.
100%.
I think the Clippers.
But the thing is the thing is, yes, you guys are a disappointment.
But there's a
obviously,
reason.
yes, you made the trade and
There's a reason.
everything. But still, is that okay? It is a big adjustment, I guess you can say. But it's still like okay, it's still a bit mad because
The biggest one for me in the West, anyway, by absolutely a long stretch. It's not even close. Is the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah,
No. We said.
No,
I remember
no,
us
no,
being
no.
on here saying, I said I do not think they're making the playoffs.
No,
And you man agreed.
Yeah, but I didn't think they'd be this bad.
No, of course they are, bro. Of course
3 and
they are.
13 is shocking.
Jaren Jackson Jr.'s true colours are showing. Those inflated stats are coming to life
Yeah,
now.
I didn't
Because
think it'd be this bad.
No,
like,
man.
there's 3 and 13
where's
and
the
there's
point
like
come from? Who's scoring?
no, they're terrible.
There's
But I didn't think it'd
no
be 3 and 13. Like at least be like 6 or 7. Like, not that
Come
bad.
on, man. Jar is gone out. Jaren Jackson, we've known that there's
3 wins.
There's been questions.
Desmond
around
Bane's been given the responsibility now of being one of the lead scorer on that team.
And
It's just
Marcus Smart.
Yeah, we know what that is.
He's not a scorer.
even Derrick Rose put up decent numbers on that team, but I'm just telling you, they're not
Yes,
built for it.
definitely,
They
yeah.
have bear in mind they still don't have Stephen Adams back as well.
Exactly. They're missing a lot. That's been 23. Okay.
But bear in mind he has to be the lead scorer on that team.
Yeah, and
if he's averaging
if
that,
that was alongside Jars, I don't know.
He was doing that last year.
24, 25.
Yeah.
It's different. It's a different thing.
It's just the 3 and 13 is shocking.
I think if we're being honest, the Clippers are probably the most disappointing team
In the West.
in the West. I'd say in the East, I think Cleveland have taken a massive step
I was
back.
just about to say that's the team I've been disappointed.
In the East.
But the thing about Cleveland, bear in mind Jarrett Allen has only just come back. They were missing him, and they had Evan when Tion was here. Tion was saying Evan Mobley was having to play minutes at center, and he was getting absolutely abused.
He was getting
When
finished.
in their rematch against the Knicks, where everyone's like, "Yeah, you guys have to come out and be aggressive," and like, them boys,
Did they lose? They lost. Didn't they lose? I can't remember.
against the Knicks.
No, they lost that.
They lost. They lost, and after being gentlemen swept with home court advantage in the playoffs, like you can't allow them to come back and run the same game on you, and they did. They did. It was bad. It was bad.
Another team, well, there's 2, but we know reason.
Oh, it was a back-to-back one. They won one and then lost.
Okay.
The other. Yeah, so that's
Go on.
even one. They won.
Obviously, we've spoken about Chicago and the situation there.
Fuck them,
That
man.
needs to end.
Fuck them. Trade Levine. Trade DeRozan. Like
Sooner.
all your assets, just let them go. Recruit draft picks, and let's keep it pushing.
That's just the best
Let's
way.
keep it
Yeah,
pushing.
there's nothing else to really do there. Like
Charlotte, I mean, Miles Bridges coming back. Him and
I was very, very harsh on LaMelo Ball. I have to admit
He
that
has
first of all.
he's been good.
Brilliant.
Yes. I was really harsh on
games.
him last time we recorded when we were talking about LaMelo Ball, and I have to acknowledge that because some of the games that he's been playing in, like he's been balling absolutely crazy, but it's tough because the team are so arse. There's minimal talent on that team right now. He's definitely having to, do a lot more to just have them coasting by. Not even coasting by, just having them equal out what the other team are doing. Like he's having to do the most. I don't know if he got hurt, but he only played like 15 minutes in their last game.
Yeah, I think he did, yeah. And like you're looking at the last, I'll give and take, he's 34 points, 36 points, 34 points, 37 points, 28 points, 32 points,
He's on a run.
25,
The assists
34,
have been high as well.
30. The assists, you've seen 13s, 8s, 9s, 11s, 13s.
If he didn't start the season badly, he'd be probably one of the league leaders in points right now.
Yeah, it's the team, but I think Bridges coming back.
Was good. They
I
need
think
to.
he got 33 points the other day. Let me try and find it.
Which is nuts, man.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
He's not played for like God knows.
He just
how.
walked in and just
Yeah.
had a casual thing like that. Like,
Hey, you know what he said in his rap, man? I feel like James when I step back.
it's annoying that he can spit.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
But do you know what? What's a really big issue for me with Horns, which is really pissing me off, and he's just rotting away there. Yeah, not in terms of he needs to be used. He just, I don't know what needs to be done, but Gordon Hayward just, it's just, it just doesn't work. Say, go back to Utah, or like I don't know, man. Just go somewhere else.
Republican, man.
Yeah, man. Like I just, I don't know for this guy, man. I don't even know where like you put him. Like he's just there.
I'm looking at Brandon Miller because like as much as I mean I don't think he'll like it or anything, but he has to be good very very soon.
Yeah,
and he's not having a bad rookie season. 14 points, 47% from the field. That's decent. 35.6 from three. That's good for a rookie, especially. That's very good. 4 rebounds a game. I think this year they have to hit in the lottery, and they don't necessarily need number one. If they get one more top 3 pick, I think they can start competing that properly out there because Melo will start his the first year of his rookie max contract next season. You have Brandon Miller on another year, and hopefully he takes a bigger stride towards 18 to 20 a game. Mark Williams has impressed me a little bit.
Yeah.
Mark Williams has impressed me a little bit. I'm quite impressed watching him play. But then outside of that, like the fact that they've kept Terry Rozier for this long has surprised me.
Why?
Surprised me, man. And I get like it's helpful to have a vet, and Terry's still a very good scoring guard. It's just I don't think he's the player that team needs. Another guy who I think is mad overrated, PJ Washington, very overrated player.
So overrated, man.
Yeah, I think the Hornets are kind of trapped right now
Trapped in dysfunction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also think what you're saying is true. I don't think they're supremely far off from being a team that could just not have such a bad losing record each and every season.
They could be an 8 seed, man.
Yeah, like I think they're probably another player away, but they just probably need to look in their organisation. They've got a couple players there. I literally have saying a couple. Literally Ball, Bridges, and Miller. I mean, that's really it. And I feel like maybe one more player outside of that. They've also got a few draft picks. Like, I don't know. I think they're a team that they need to kind of get it right soon. Because I don't think LaMelo Ball will be sticking around 3-4 years' time if they're still in this position.
I think he's going to be one of the first guys of like that generation of NBA players to ask out. Because Charlotte have been asked before he got there. They're asked while he's there as well. And he's not even bad. So, and I think he got his first All-Star last year, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And he's on track right now to get another.
Yeah, and I think 3-year window.
It's the same. Yeah, 100%. He'll get to the second to last year of that contract and start looking, saying, am I about to do this extension business, or are we gonna mutually part ways and send me somewhere where I can win a championship?
Yeah, man. That's it there. But that was the end of the pod, guys. I hope you've enjoyed listening to us talk the realness, the truth, the raw.
Pause.
Yeah, for real.
Taking a page from this guy's book.
Wow.
Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on post notifications, follow us on all socials at Take It to the Pod on Twitter or X as it is now, and Take It to the Rim Podcast on Instagram, on YouTube, and on TikTok. Make sure you listen. If you have any questions to send in or anything that you want us to shed light on in the basketball world, just DM us as well on all those platforms. And yeah, keep rocking with us, keep rolling, and we'll keep being here. And finally, our guy from hiatus has come back to finally sign us out. So, if you would do the honors, please, Sir Julian of the LA Clippers. Psych, Lakers.
Wow! Clippers. From Ghana to London, over and out, baby.
Yep.